Hey guys, welcome to Friday Sews. I thought I'd share with you the two makes that I finished, and I got some new fabric in today for Style Maker from Style Maker, and so I thought I'd share that with you as well as the patterns that I plan on using. And then I thought I would tell you my thoughts on the Itch to Stitch Islare, which is a new pattern from them that I just finished for my daughter Lindsay. So this is a t-shirt, although it has a square neck. So it's, a little bit different. I guess it gives it a little bit more elevation than just your, excuse me, your basic t-shirt. So I like the square neck. And I made it out of a yellow with a white stripe art gallery cotton jersey from Hawthorne Supply Company. And you would think that I could just stitch this up in an hour or so. That, it's just a t-shirt, right? Because it's like a Concord tee. I can make those practically with my eyes closed. So I thought that this one would be pretty much the same. No. It really gave me a run for my money, and it's not that difficult. It is by no means a reflection on the pattern. Rather, it's a testament to my sewing skills that kind of gave me an issue. And the issue that I had with it was the facing. Because it's a square neck, it doesn't have, your regular, what's it called? Not binding, but your neckline where you just get this fabric and you stretch it and all. This is a square neck, so they used a facing. And admittedly, I don't like facings, and I certainly don't like them on a knit. And also, it had raglan sleeves. So the first time I stitched it, it was per the instructions. They said to go ahead and you attach it at the neckline, flip it inside, and then they wanted you to go ahead and just stitch around the edge of the facing. Well, I went ahead and did that, and when I turned it inside out, because I had stripes in the fabric, the stitching, like if this were a stripe, the stitching was not parallel. It kind of went around the front at an angle, and it really looked like it was off balance or just incorrectly made, and I couldn't figure out why, because I really took great care in making this because it did have stripes. So rather than fold the fabric in half and cut the front and back out on the fold, I cut it single layer. So I would go ahead and put down the front, cut half of it, flip the pattern to the other side, and cut out the other half, so that I knew that my stripes would be parallel and they would match with the others, with the back. And then on the sleeves, what I did is I actually pinned every other stripe so that when I sewed it from the bottom of the shirt all the way to the edge of the sleeve, perfect matching on those stripes. So I'm very proud of the pattern matching that I did with the stripes. But when it came to the facing, I don't know why edge stitching around the bottom of the facing didn't look right on the front. So anyhow, I unpicked it, and this time I thought I would go ahead and stitch it from the front so that I could make sure that the stitching would be parallel or the same distance from the stripe on the front of the shirt. Well, I went ahead and did that, but I had a little trouble turning the corner, I guess, when it came to the corner of the front to the sleeve, and so I missed some of the facing on some of that, so some of it didn't get tacked down. Well, that wasn't going to work, so I went ahead and unstitched it, and then I just sort of set it aside. So when things had calmed down, I went ahead and I finished up the facing as best I could, and all I could say is it's tolerable, I suppose. And if any of you know where that line comes from, please leave it in the comments, because I'm curious to know if you know that line, as well as me and my family know that line. So anyhow, I finished the stitch on the Islare top for her. It's an Itch to Stitch pattern. It is $14, which I think is a little steep for just a t-shirt pattern. I mean, yes, it is a square neck, but it's $14, comes in PDF only. It does have a good size range. It goes from a size 00 to a size 40, and it does have a separate full bust option, although the full bust option involves putting in a dart. And there's nothing wrong with putting a dart in a knit garment. Some people think, oh, you can't put a dart in a knit garment. Well, yes, you absolutely can. There's nothing wrong with it. The only thing I'm curious about is that I kind of think that putting a dart in a knit garment, sometimes it doesn't look very modern. It almost looks like something that would have been worn decades ago. So I'm curious to see how it's going to look made in a larger size, because my daughter didn't need the full bust option. I like the pattern and I want to make it for myself, and I will have to use the full bust option. So I'm curious to see how that dart's going to look and when the whole thing's completed. But anyhow, it's a raglan sleeve, and you get 3 sleeve options: short, 3/4, and full length. And then it has a nice little curved hem. And I kind of like the curved hem because, you know, it goes up at the, goes around the front, goes up at the sides. So that kind of gives the legs a little bit longer look. But all in all, I think it's really just a t-shirt pattern, and I think $14 is just a little bit steep for it. So if there were anything, such thing as a polymeter, I would probably give it a 7. And just because I don't think the value is there. Now, as I'm making this, you know, it is a square neck t-shirt. It is not lost on me that I'm also going to be making the Carlisle, the Cashmere Carlisle t-shirt, which is a square neck t-shirt as well. So I'm cutting this out, and you know, you have to clip into the corners and fold the facing, and I'm putting it together, and I'm thinking, you know, I wonder if Cashmerette's going to do it. Like the instructions are going to be similar, or if they're going to use a different technique. And then I started thinking, I should do bam, bam, pattern throwdown. Compare the 2 patterns, the Islare against the Carlisle. And so that's actually one of my videos coming up next week. I have fabric ordered. I'm going to get both of them done hopefully next week. So if you want to see that video, you know, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and you can hit the like button while you're at it too. So we'll do a pattern throwdown comparing the Islare square neck t-shirt to the Cashmere Carlisle square neck t-shirt. So the next garment I finished, and really, to be honest with you, I'm only like 98% finished. I still have a little bit of finishing to do, but I went ahead and made my daughter it's by Liesl & Co., and it is the Neighborhood Hoodie, front zip hoodie, because she wanted a front zip hoodie. And she wanted it out of this See You at 6 French Terry, which I think is really pretty. And I had got some like off-white rib knit to go with it, but when they both arrived, you know, the off-white, it looked okay, but it didn't look perfect. And they actually had, you know, in their collection, they had some ribbing that matched it, but they didn't have it at Lamazi, and this is where I ordered the fabric from. So I went online and I was doing a search, and I found the matching rib knit at something like Jumping Jack Fabrics. So I went ahead and bought that and had to wait for it to arrive. And it's really interesting. It's really pretty because, see, here it is. This is called like Wedding Blush or something like that. And it's really interesting because when you look at the French Terry, you know, there is this kind of lilac, light purple, there's a dark green, and then kind of this brownish orange. But this ribbing is like a blush. Kind of like, yeah, a blush or a desert rose. And I don't know how it's coming across on camera, but it looks really pretty in real life, I guess, you know, to say. So I'm almost done with her hoodie. And here is her cuffing on her sleeves, and as you can see on the bottom, I have the zipper. I should probably zip it up. I need to finish off the zipper and then finish off the inside of the collar, I guess. So here is her, let me see if I can get it back there. Here is her hoodie. And again, I need to finish off the zipper, and then the inside of it where you sew the hood to the jacket itself. You do, I think you do like a Hong Kong seam or something where you take a piece of fabric and you just sort of secure that down, and it just gives it a nice, excuse me, a nice neater finish. So that, hopefully, unlike the facing of the Islari. That should really only take me half an hour, 45 minutes, and I'll get to that either tonight or tomorrow. And that is the Neighborhood Hoodie by Liesl & Co. Now the cool thing is first of all, I have all this rib knitting left. This has got to be what? Probably at least half a yard, and I think it's 60 inches wide. And then I have all this French terry left over. Oh my goodness. I think it's got to be a yard and a half maybe. Let me see. This is just, you know, a down and dirty measurement. So it's got to be like 1 3/4. So I'm thinking of making another cashmerette Stanton hoodie from this. I asked my daughter if she wanted a sweatshirt or anything made out of this, and she said no. She has one hoodie made out of it. She doesn't really need anything else. So I think I might make a Stanton out of what's left over with this, because again, I think it's really pretty, and when you put this ribbon against it, I just think it's just a pretty combination. So those are the 2 makes that I've completed. I've got other things in the works that hopefully I'll get done this weekend, and I'll have more to share with you next week. But I do have some fabrics that I got in from Style Maker that I wanted to share with you. Now the first one, super surprise. This is their premium mid-weight cotton shirting in a winter white. And it was, I think it was $10.99 a yard. And I was thinking it's going to be like a bed sheet, just a cotton sheet. Nothing special, just, you know, cotton. But oh my goodness, this is so luxurious feeling. I don't know what you're going to see on camera. I wish you could feel it, because even when I had my daughter feel it, she went, wow. I'm sure a lot of that is due to the sizing, you know, that comes with the new fabric right off the bolt. So I'm curious to see what it's going to feel like after I wash it, and if I can ever get it this smooth and wrinkle free after I wash it. But coming right off the bolt, super impressed with this. And this is going to be, at first I thought it would be a button-up shirt for her. That's what I bought it for, with the intention of doing just a white basic button-up. But then what came with it was this card, you know. Oh, sorry about that. Things are falling all over the place. You know how lots of times when you buy fabric, they give you cute little cards? Well, on the back, and you can barely see it, but it has the, I think it's called the Dunmar or the Dunlap, or I don't know, Dooney, some sort of top from Friday Pattern Company right here. And it is kind of like an over, you know, there's no buttons, but it does have a collar. It's kind of like a camp collar, camp shirt collar. And I just think that might be, as far as needing a basic button-up shirt, I think that this might be maybe just a little bit more modern. So I need to look at the pattern. So this is either going to be an Aria button-up shirt, or the Friday Pattern Company, I forget what it's called. It's like a Dunmar or something. I'll put the name down here so you can read it. So this is their white shirting, and I'm so impressed with this. After I wash it and sew it up, if it's as nice as it is coming off the bolt like this, I'm going to order some more and make me a white button-up, because I really love the feel of this fabric. Then the next I got, it's called a soft brush sweater knit in a heathered pink. And this is what it is. And it's a nice color for her. I'm not exactly sure. I was thinking of making a Marlowe cardigan for her with this, but when it arrived, it's actually a very thin, lightweight. And I think that's what it says. Did I just say that? No, I just said soft brush sweater heather knit. But it's a very lightweight, so it's kind of thin here. And I don't think that it would make a good Marlowe, because I think it would have too much drape on it. So I need to rethink what I'm going to make with this. But I have a heavier weight. It is their luxury soft sweater knit in a heather navy. And here we go. And you can feel that it is much spongier and thicker than the pink one. So this will be a Marlowe sweater for my daughter, and I think it'll look nice with some nice big kind of brown buttons on it. And then I need to just rethink maybe just a regular, maybe the Lisbon cardigan or maybe a Blackwood cardigan might work out of this pink because it's just a little bit lighter weight. Now I also wanted to remind everyone we have our sewing circle this Saturday, October 21st. This one will be 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to participate in the Zoom sewing circle, send an email to the pollysews22@gmail.com and I will send you a Zoom link and we can log on. Some of us are making the cashmerette Carlisle top and the Creston jeans. Some of us are making the Love Notions Metro Blazer, and then some of you guys are just making your own thing, and that's fine because we all want to see what everyone is making and hear their journey of what they're making, what fabric they bought, and just overall sewing chit chat. It's a lot of fun, so I hope you can join us. That's all I have for today, so I will see you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye.